This event, we will have a few sections. Start with an overview of the CBARN program, and following with presentations from each of the member colleges, talking about their research capacities. And at the end, there will be a Q&A session as well. So if you have any questions, you can either type your questions in the chat, or we will be able to unmute your microphone at that time, so you can share your questions verbally as well. All right, without further ado, I will share my presentations. So as an overview of the CBARN program, so CBARN basically it's a network of the Southern Ontario colleges, currently led by Lambton College and joined by Loyalist College, Mohawk, and also Fanshawe colleges as well. And we will collaborate with the bio-based SMEs to provide the access to the research and innovation services to help them develop either new or optimize their current bio-clean technologies, so that we can help them to generate these commercialization opportunities and also create these job opportunities as well. This funding program is supported through the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. So it's a $3 million investment. With this funding support, CBARN will be able to leverage this expertise from the researchers, faculties, and also the students as well. Moreover, the state-of-the-art infrastructures to help them significantly advance the bio-cleantech industry. So that's what CBARN is going to support. And of course, there will be specific objectives and the KPIs we want to achieve through this program. So we'll plan to support 65 SMEs and also commercialize 65 new products, services, or processes, and also develop or improve 80 technologies, processes, or products. More importantly, we will be able to, create or maintain this 110 full-time equivalent job opportunities as well. It's a very ambitious goal, but we believe we have a strong team and the plan to achieve this. So you may ask what kind of projects is eligible for the CBARN program. So there are a few criteria. First, the company size. It needs to be small, which means you have 1 to 99 employees, or medium-sized, from 100 to 499 employees. In terms of location, it needs to be located in the Southern Ontario region. The next slide will have a map to have a better visual to show you, what are the areas are covered under the Southern Ontario region. And of course, the sectors that we try to focus on is bio-cleantech, including these subsectors such as the biorefineries, bioenergies, biomaterials, bioproducts, biopesticides, agriculture tech, and natural health products. So just to give some examples. So through this map, you can see the areas highlighted in blue are basically the covered under this CBARN program, which are eligible. And through this highlighted blue area, you can see the 4 CBARN college members are spread along the way, including Lambton, Fanshawe College, and Mohawk, and Loyalist as well. So these are the, we are well located to support the surrounding areas for the CBARN program. If you have any questions or have some potential project ideas you want to discuss after the event, you can reach out to myself. I have my email here, or my colleague, Jose, who is the CBARN coordinator as well. Of course, you can check out the CBARN program through our website, and also follow us on social media as well. All right, so that will conclude my presentation. Hopefully now you have a little bit of idea of what a CBARN is, what kind of projects we support. And for next, I will introduce our next speaker, Dr. Rob Nicole, who is the BPR's Bioindustrial Process Research Center Manager at Lambton College. Here you go, Rob.
Great, thanks, Baoling. Thanks so much. I'll share my screen as well. Thanks so much for joining today, everyone. So I'm also at Lambton College. I'm Rob Nicol. I'm the manager of the BPRC, Bioindustrial Process Research Center. Pleased to meet everyone today. The BPRC is located at Lambton College. It's just one of the research centers we have. We have others listed here. I think for the CBARN and that focus on bio-cleantech, the BPRC is probably the most applicable research group, but there might be other research groups here at Lambton that are also very relevant to your bio-cleantech needs. So perhaps you're working on a biomaterial or some enzymes to clean up water, wastewater. So I'd be happy to put you in touch with the industrial material group or the Lambton Water Center. So very happy to entertain your questions after this talk as well. And if BPRC can't help, then very happy to put you in touch with other research groups that might be able to help within this CBARN program. So focusing though on the BPRC, it was established in 2019. We work on several key areas of innovation: fermentation and distillation. This could be industrial fermentation and then distillation to purify renewable chemicals from that distillation. But also we work with a lot of beer and wine companies as well. A lot of beer companies are very interested in having their product analyzed as they prepare to get it launched into the LCBO. So we help a few of those companies. We work on biomass, biofuels, bioproducts, and biomaterials. We're very well equipped in this area to take biomass, reduce it to a certain particle size, and then develop processes to turn into all these different types of materials. We have partners working on bioplastics and renewable chemicals and all sorts of things in this area. We also work with pharmaceutical and natural health products. Baoling is very capable in this area. We have a lot of great private partners in this area working on cannabis natural health products, but also just other products from other types of herbs. So very, very well accomplished and very busy in this area as well. We work in cultivation, extraction, and chemical analysis. This mostly means microbes or plants, although we are cultivating or growing insects right now as well. But the idea here is we can grow plants, we can grow microbes, and we can extract out and purify those target chemicals or target products that you're interested in. We also work with instrumentation and process control. So the idea here is a lot of our partners are perhaps scaling up or actually building even pilot plants in the area. So our instrumentation and process control team works with a lot of different industrial sectors, but in the bio-based sector, they might go to a fermentation pilot plant or help renewable chemical production plant get up and going. So very active in this area as well, and very willing to help in this area, help your needs as well. Our team consists currently of 4 PhDs, a Bachelor of Engineer, a Master's, and 2 Masters and 5 BSc. So we have a lot of great researchers here. A lot of them come from industrial backgrounds. We also hire about 12 to 20 students every term. So very busy in bringing students on board, getting them their feet wet in terms of research and development, and then often supervised by our permanent staff. What do we do at BPRC? Well, we work within 3 main areas: innovation, technical services. So perhaps your company needs help with business development or commercialization plans. We also do specialized training. Some of our private partners come into our labs and get trained on state-of-the-art equipment that they perhaps don't have at their facility, but are thinking of buying. We also have online training modules in terms of the bio-based economy that can help train workers as well. But I think for the focus today, we're mostly talking about applied research projects and very active in this area, helping SMEs, small and medium enterprises, or even larger companies on their research needs. So often this entails them coming to us with a specific technical challenge, and then harnessing our personnel and our equipment to really address that need and see if we can overcome that technical hurdle. So we're very capable in terms of our personnel, but also our equipment. We have about 5 million in equipment set up across a few labs in Lambton College. Very much thanks to our funders who have allowed us to acquire this. CFI and the Ontario ORF Fund are two big ones that support us in our equipment needs. So we are very well equipped in chemical analysis under that chromatography tab there. We have different LC, liquid chromatography setups. We have gas chromatography, ion chromatography, gel permeation chromatography, ICP for analyzing metals, and all sorts of other related chemical equipment. You can see some of it in our main analyzer lab here. We're very well equipped in fermentation. We have different bioreactors of different sizes, all the way from 2 liters to 32 liters. We can start even smaller. We can start with shake flasks, and then as your process and optimize and grows, we can grow that size and scale up to about 32 liters. Also very interested in expanding our fermentation capacity here, and we're looking at acquiring even bigger bioreactors and fermenters than that 32 liter. The 32 liter is shown here on the bottom of the screen. Very nice instrument, hard plumbed with all inputs and outputs, and we can measure what's going in and what's going out in real time. Besides the bioreactors, we're very well equipped as well in microbiology, a lot of sterile cabinets and plating and PCR and all those sorts of equipment as well. Other analyzers we have analyzers to look at elements and FTIR and UV vis spec, again, for mostly doing different types of chemical analysis. And we're, of course, have all that general lab equipment that you'd expect as well, autoclaves and -80 freezer and incubators and all those sorts of things as well. I don't have a lot of time today, so I won't go into all of our equipment. And there's also all the other equipment in those other groups that I mentioned earlier, extruders and micro compounders in the materials lab, for example. But we do have a very nice online lab walkthrough and lab equipment list. So please, if you're interested in more detail about any of our equipment, please let me know, and I could be happy to point you in the right direction there. So we have a lot of research capacity, and I thought now just the rest of this brief talk, I'd give some examples just to get the general knowledge out there of what we are up to, of some recent projects I've been working on. So we've been looking at composting, making biopesticides, producing natural pigments, and also working in the cannabis sector. We do have a license from Health Canada to work with cannabis. So one example here is invertebrate composting of food waste. Invertebrate, not necessarily strictly insects. We do worms and insects as well, the black soldier fly. So the idea here is food waste, of course, is an intractable problem in Ontario and Canada and many other jurisdictions in the world. Can you minimize that waste? Can you minimize it from going to landfill, thereby solving an environmental problem? And then can you also valorize it, get some new valuable products out of that? So we're working with different partners, looking at different food waste streams. Yes, reducing the volume of it to avoid it going to landfill, but also producing renewable fertilizer and other products as well, like chitin. So we take food waste, we feed it to the worms, we feed it to black soldier flies, and then we analyze what comes out and the economic feasibility of turning this into new products. Another one we're working on is adding value to crop residue, crop and even food, other food residues as well. So we're working on this one. It's quite a large and ambitious project. We're working with everyone from farmers to technology providers to end users of these new products. So this is just one example of a hop farmer in the region we're working with. So what you see here is these hop vines growing quite tall, but there's a fair bit of, by weight, there's a fair bit of waste that's involved or byproduct. If you think of hops, if you've seen them, there's just quite a small cone on these large plants. So after the cones are stripped off, we have a lot of vines, technically called bines in hop production. And the idea here is, can you process that hop vine and turn it into something new? So hop, we're working with tomato pulp and other co-products. A lot of these have high levels of very interesting natural chemicals in them. Hops have essential oils, tomatoes have saponins that we're interested in. So can we, before this waste maybe goes to landfill or maybe gets composted, can we extract some of these natural chemicals and use them for something new? So what we do is we work with farmers, collect that biomass, bring it into our lab. We extract those chemicals out using sustainable methods based on carbon dioxide or water. With those extracts, we now use bioassays to determine how bioactive they are or what they can be used for. I should mention here that, again, this is a large project. We work with Agriculture Canada on this and University of Guelph, and then with many different private partners. But after we make these different extracts, we'll chemically analyze them to see what's in there using our analyzer lab. Then we'll do bioassays with insects, shown here as spider mites and whiteflies. And on the bottom, you'll see a ligas bioassay where we applied these extracts to celery. And then a control. So the control celery, hopefully you can see, is a lot more damaged than the one that got applied with the natural chemicals. We would do the same with crop bioassays. So we grow tomato and cucumbers, apply these natural chemicals to the crops to see if they maybe boost growth and yield or protect them from plant pathogens, shown here on the bottom of these Petri dishes with an antimicrobial bioassay. So very active in this field and getting some nice, interesting results. Another project example we've been doing recently is production of natural pigment via fermentation. So a lot of pigments out there are, synthetically produced from petrochemical feedstocks. Can we displace these petrochemical feedstocks and these processes that can be highly polluting? Can we replace it with a bio-based process? So our partner here has a interesting microbe that can produce a nice purple pigment. They send it here to Lambton. We grow it in different bioreactors at different conditions, try and optimize that condition of how much carbon, how much oxygen goes in, and in terms of how much pigment's produced. After that pigment's produced in liquid culture, there's still a lot of work to do in isolating it and purifying it. So we dried it down and extracted it using our supercritical CO2 extractor. In the middle here in this table, you'll see the different conditions we're using for supercritical CO2. We can play with temperature and pressure. We can add a bit of co-solvent as well to try and optimize that pigment purification. Then on the right, you'll see the final product here, a nice purple pigment that's produced from a natural process. And I think our last example here is cannabis health beverage production. If you're familiar with the cannabis extracts, they're quite oily. But there's a big push to get them into drinks, and there's a bit of a technical hurdle there to get an oily material into a liquid drink. So we've been working with a company to make a health beverage, kind of a milky beverage with other ingredients in there. And it's a bit of a challenge to get that oil into liquid. So we've made a prototype emulsified beverage here under different conditions. And then we can use our GC to analyze the cannabis to see how much THC and terpenes and other natural health products are in that product as well. So those are a few examples of what we are up to. We do a lot of different things, very diverse projects. So if nothing here is really connecting with our potential private partners out there, I'd be happy to discuss any of your ideas, and we can really work on almost anything bio-related. So what are the outcomes for our public and private partners? They get optimized processes. That cannabis production gets an optimized process to make their drink. Sometimes we make business connections for that biopesticide project. We're connecting farmers to technology providers to end users. We can help them with their scale up. And we can make prototypes so that pigment group now has a nice pigment that they can then send to their end users to see if it meets specs for dyeing textiles and all those sorts of things. So I think maybe I'm out of time because I see Baoling there, but thanks so much. That's a little snapshot of what we do. And again, happy to talk more in depth later on. Thanks everyone for joining today, and looking very much forward to listening to the other speakers as well. Thanks everyone.
Right, thanks, Rob. Okay, so I will introduce the next speaker is Dr. Colin Yates, who is the chair for Center for Research and Innovation from Fanshawe College. The floor is yours, Colin.
Let me try and share the presentation here. What's going on here? Can everybody see that? I need to get it to the full screen here.
Yes, we can see.
There we go. Think we're good. All righty. Thank you very much, Bao Ling, and good to see everybody for who I can see, especially you, Rob. It's been a while. So I'm going to talk about what we do at Fanshawe, specifically in our carob research lab. And I will, try to go through things so we differentiate a little bit from what some of the other parties are talking about. So it doesn't sound like we do all the same thing, but we do obviously very similar things, and that's why we work together so well. So just like all of our counterparts, CRI and carob specifically are helping to remove barriers to innovation for small, medium-sized businesses, so that they can bring products to market or improve existing products or services. That way they can scale their company, or they can take it to the next level. Like a lot of the food producers that we work with want to take it from the farmers market level and start working with larger organizations like Sobeys. And obviously we provide the experience, the expertise in our laboratories, as well as some of the technologies that we have available to do that. So I will go through some of the things that we have in our laboratories, just like what Rob did. But first, I want to acknowledge that, not only what makes CBARN amazing, but what makes all of us amazing here is our partners. We can't do all of this ourselves. So being integrated into with different industry partner or industry organizations is critical. So, for us in London, we have some amazing partners that we work with on a regular basis that are not just in London, but across Canada, particularly the Grove, which is a food accelerator facility at the Western Fair in London. If you haven't heard about it, I highly suggest that you go take a peek. We work closely with Food Producers of Canada, as well as the Cannabis Council of Canada for our cannabis work, and many others, to get a sense of where the industry is going, so that we know how to cater our laboratories and our services to best serve the companies that we're trying to serve. So the carob labs, more pictures of neat equipment, just like what Rob was showing. We do slightly different things than what Rob has just discussed, so I'll go through them. But in general, it's about helping product development, looking through the manufacturing process, providing analytics so that we can do quality assurance for those companies, and various types of product testing in our laboratories. So what our bread and butter is in the carob laboratories is our work with food processors in particular. We do an awful lot of microbial testing, particularly shelf life testing, and various culture techniques in the food space. We've worked with companies like Booch Kombucha, Organic Kombucha, to help sort out some of their brewing process, as well as worked with numerous different projects on increasing the shelf life of various food products. A lot of companies come to us and say, we've been working with the local farmers markets for the last number of years. We want to grow our company. We want to get it on store shelves across the province or across Canada now. So they have to look at, how do we make sure that these food products are stable over the long term? So we look at various types of preservatives. We apply those preservatives, or have the companies apply those preservatives in some cases, send their product back to us, and then we do the shelf life testing on it to see whether it has met the limit of shelf life that they want to achieve. And in some of these cases, these projects will be over a year long, because they want to make sure that their product is shelf stable from a microbial perspective for over a year. We've worked with companies across Canada, including Java Blend cold brew coffees, to help with their shelf life. It's an incredible important topic as we try to work towards food security and providing new great food products into the market. among some of the equipment that we have in our lab are various sizes of fermenters. So these are some of our smaller scale versions, just like what Rob discussed. We're able to go up to 40-liter systems that we can monitor all the inputs and outputs on a very careful basis. That way we can understand what is happening in that fermentation process, be able to adjust and make recommendations to these different companies at their facilities based on the work that we're doing in the laboratories, or we can take some of their samples from their facilities and culture them and see what is going on in some of their fermentations and try to replicate that. Another key area for us is cannabis innovation. So like Lambton, we also have a cannabis research license. What we do with most of the cannabis companies is really focus on extractions, purification, and method development. We have some very interesting equipment, particularly our flash chromatography system, where we're able to do minor cannabinoid purification. We've worked with a number of different companies in this space to help get very high purity minor cannabinoids like CBN, CBG. Obviously, we work with the more common cannabinoids of THC and CBD, and we try to find methods or help them improve their existing methods so that they can efficiently get these products extracted or purified from the cannabis plant. Often we will receive a half processed product that they want to get purified further, or we can take it right from that flower and analyze it with some of our analytical equipment. Another big thing that we're doing is synthetic cannabinoid production and then purifying that down. Obviously, some minor cannabinoids, they're only present in very small quantities, so we want to be able to produce that in larger quantities for the companies. So we help with different techniques on that, as well as developing our own SOPs in our lab as we're working towards some other licensing that will help companies bring products to market even faster. Process optimization research is another area that we work in on different levels, and obviously a lot of this is based on the food and cannabis space in particular, but we do go to other facilities, manufacturing facilities, to help them with their process flow, help them see whether there can be any efficiencies that they can be found in their manufacturing process. But provide a few examples, specifically in the food production space. We've done a number of projects going through process facility layout, looking at the equipment that they have in place, looking at the staffing that they have in place, and working through what they could do to efficientize their process. For example, we've had a company come to us that wanted to get increase or double their capacity per day or per week of a baked product. So we went through, we pointed out various components that they can improve, which not only allowed them to produce more product, but at a much cheaper outcome for them. So their ROI went up substantially. Actually, I think the one researcher is on the phone call here, but I won't mention his name for privacy. Another thing that we do a lot with this piece of equipment here, which is our spray drying equipment. We've worked with the big food company called Aspire Foods. They're that one in London that's doing the cricket protein. We've helped them improve some of their production process, looking at various spray drying techniques. So we work with a lot of different companies in this space, whether it's right at the agricultural production side, right to the end process. We're able to insert ourselves anywhere along that wheel, so to speak, of farm to fork. So just to finish up here, and you're welcome to reach out to us at any time. I've just glossed through this for the sake of not talking too much to the same things that some of my colleagues have, but you're welcome to reach out, talk to us about some potential projects. This is obviously a consortium, so we want to work together. We all have complementary pieces of equipment. If we can't sort out what to do, we're happy to work with our colleagues to make sure that you have an amazing outcome for your project and making sure that you get the best product or service to the market. Thank you for your time, and please do follow us on LinkedIn and Twitter. We do post a number of things on a regular basis that may be of use to you. Thanks, Belling.
All right, thanks, Colleen. Okay, next we have a dual speakers from Loyalist College, Sher Powers, research coordinator, and Dr. Carrie Cramp, the senior scientific manager. Welcome.
Hello, everybody. Share here. I'm just going to share my screen. Okay, can everybody see my screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, and can everyone hear me all right? Okay, thanks, Rob. Thanks, Collins. Great presentation.
Okay, Carrie, do you want me to take the first couple of slides and do the 30,000-foot view?
Absolutely.
Okay, great. Yeah, so yeah, thank you for having us here. And as Colin said, we don't want to be repetitive because we do have a lot of commonalities and common capacity amongst the other members of the CBARN network. But so we'll highlight some of the differences with Loyalist. One being, I guess, that we are the most eastern geographically located college in the network. So situated between Toronto and Ottawa. We're just going to talk about starting at the high level at our area office. So as Belling said, I am the research coordinator for the Applied Research and Innovation Office here at Loyalist. And maybe what's different about that we would want to mention is that different, or not similar to other colleges, is that we are situated within the Office of the Vice President of External Relations and Business Development. So the Applied Research Office here at Loyalist doesn't sit with the Vice President of Academic. We sit with our external relations, and very industry focused, and and very aware of responding to the needs of our partners in industry time. And within Loyalist, our main capacity for research and what we're going to focus on today is within our Center for Natural Products and Medical Cannabis. That's where we have been established. We've established a Technology Access Center funded through NSERC, and that's where we have the majority of our applied research activity happening at the college to this point. But we do have a couple of other centers that I'll mention before we get down into talking about the Center for Natural Products and Medical Cannabis. We also have capacity in interprofessional simulations labs here at the college, as well as we have an advanced manufacturing program that is just getting started in doing a lot of applied research activities. And then we are also very involved in social innovation at the college and working with community partners to improve the quality of living in the Quinte region. So Carrie, I'll pass it over to you to talk about the center.
Okay, certainly. So this is one of the centers which we feel that is, the best fit for this particular initiative. So we'll focus a lot of our attention on here today. The Center for Natural Products and Cannabis here at the college, again, big focus from an industry perspective is the development of new products and processes to work on and to build on and improve existing products and processes. So we have, going back to 2004, exceptional capacity within the field of clean tech. Back in 2004, we established, research and pilot scale supercritical CO2 extraction. From then, we built, responding to industry, responding to the sector across Canada in this particular area, and responding to our regional partners and who we're working with in terms of where we need to invest. And we've had some fantastic collaborations along the way from a government perspective, but also from local and regional businesses. As it relates to our licensing capacity, we have licenses for analytical work in cannabis and also research. And we're about 2/3 of the way through the process of getting us psilocybin license. So again, just really trying to stay at the forefront and make our way. And when we talk about natural products, this has a a broad appeal. This is everything from the waste materials, which I've heard talked about, which is fantastic to see this common focus, because there's so much work that needs to be done to realize the potential of valorizing the materials that are there. And this includes, we've worked with grape pomace from the wine industry, and tomato waste, and apple pomace. And moving on to here, I think the strength is our team. We've got a fantastic team. Our students are amazing. We work within our biosciences area in particular. So we've got students with backgrounds in chemical engineering, biotech, and the environmental field. Our team, a snapshot of which is shown here, has diverse backgrounds. And this is everything from chemical technologists, biotechnologists, researchers with masters and BScs and PhDs, in addition to our business folks. And what's nice about our team is, I don't know, it's iterative. So it changes and it reflects the work that's going on within the college. So if there's a particular project where we're like, we really need to develop this particular expertise, we have, we're able to bring in faculty members from our different departments or outside researchers. And in certain cases, we often welcome industry researchers to come in and work on projects with us. So it's a lot of fun. And again, as was said by, our previous our previous partners in this initiative, that it's about who you work with. So we need to work with people that are, at that leading edge to try to find new and better ways to do things that make sense for environmental reasons, make sense for economic reasons, make sense for just driving the bioeconomy forward in new and better ways. So great experience with our partners. And again, all about collaboration. So I think there'll be some interesting collaborations within this initiative as well. I'm looking forward to that. And thank you to all of our funders. Within, and we talk about the services that we have, again, with our multidisciplinary team, again, our focus, especially as it relates to this initiative, is applied research and development. So what is it that you need to do? What is the challenge that you're encountering, and how can we help you and support you reach the outcome that you're looking for? That's part of that comes with testing and analysis, that comes with training. We recognize that to get that high quality of personnel that you need, it's important to make these connections. And one of the greatest benefits that I see with a lot of these collaborations is the connections that are made between our students and these young professionals that we have working in our lab to our network of industry. And when you see that transition to working on a project with, industry A, fantastic relationship, network is connected, and they make that leap to that industry partner. And then you're like, yes, this is a win-win for everyone. And of course, we have the product and the business support within our greater applied research and innovation office. This is actually, we've got to update this picture. This is a picture of our initial CO2 extractor, our pilot scale one that we had back in 2004. We're just in the process of commissioning a brand new pilot extractor. It's 1 liter capacity, but it's got exceptional fractionation ability. So as we get into the final stages of having that ready, that'll be a new capacity that we have within the center. When we talk about our testing and analysis, and again, we're flexible. We recognize that the field of natural products, really, it's in its infancy. There's so much work that needs to be done. There's so much that needs to be learned. And so what we're able to do is, we don't necessarily say we have these methods available as it relates to testing. If there's not a readily available method and you're looking at a specific active, we can say, okay, let's work on this together. So how do we get to that? What particular instrument do we need to do that? What methods are out there? What's available in the literature? How do we get the standards? Are they available commercially? Do we need to work with within our own group to extract and isolate a standard, or do we work with our network of collaborators that are able to provide that for us? Again, we have our cannabis testing, which is available, natural products and beverages. We've done some great work in that particular area. In our region, we've got a budding industry as it relates to cannabis, but also in the wine industry and as it relates to craft brewers. And that's a fun group to work with. Benefits to working with the center is we're results driven. when you talk about university research, they have so much to offer. It's incredible. But when you talk about the work that we do, and I'm talking as a whole from a college perspective, in many cases, it's more focused on that, that 6-month to 3-year time period where we can really help you make that difference that will have commercial impacts for your company. And within our network and our ability to leverage our academic standing to acquire funding to support you to do that work, that's a huge bonus. And I think one of the items that Cher would probably like to talk about is the independent third party and intellectual property claims. I'll just keep talking, Cher, so you need to interrupt me and take this over. Can you take a little bit of a slide?
Well, yeah, no, just one thing I would like to say in relation to this, to expand on what Carrie is saying, is that, and all of the colleges do this as well, but it hasn't been mentioned yet, is that we, obviously through this webinar, we'd like to help companies leverage their funds. And even if a company is further along in their technology and business operation development, even if they have cash to contribute to a project, we love finding more cash for them to leverage and turn their dollar into $4 or $3. And so that's something that we really try hard to do with all companies so that they can get the most bang for their buck and turn a small project perhaps into a much larger project.
Oh, and we talked about our locations. We're a little bit east, so from a geographical perspective, that may or may not work for you. In terms of our center, we've had a lot of investment in the last several years. Again, we're very grateful to CFI and ORF. We've put about $3.5 million into the lab in the last few years, but again, newly renovated facilities. And if you look at the bottom of the screen, this is our new, I'm excited about this. It's our UPLC, GC, quadrupole, time of flight, mass spec. So this will dramatically increase. It's the heavyweight of advanced analytics. And we are in the process of doing probably 6 months of intensive training of personnel within our center to have the ability, not only to have this on campus, but to really be able to churn out the results that are going to be meaningful for the people that we work with. In additional equipment, and again, I'm so impressed with the capacity of all of the colleges within this initiative. I'll highlight a couple of items that we have. Our Decloit air dryer, it goes way back, but it's stainless steel. It's commercial grade. It was custom designed for us by this fantastic gentleman out of Tilsonburg. We've had a lot of recent, our freeze dryers get a ton of use. So just again, a really great way to dry your material in preparation. So many people focus in on, I want to extract, I want to do the analysis, I want to get this product development, and there's so little focus on the sample preparation. And what do you do with this? You spend so much time making sure you've got this fantastic raw material, but what you do with it in the sample preparation stage is so important to next steps along the process. So these are the next steps. And this is, a little more exciting to look at as it relates to instrumentation, but a lot of extraction technology, accelerated solvent, because we want to compare, we want to say it's better and it's better why. So we do often a comparison between different techniques. And isolation technology as well. And again, big focus on the clean and the green ways of doing this, and how do we reduce waste and develop clean products with no solvent residue. Equipment, emulsification, and formulation. Again, this is in result of demand for more product development in our particular region. And so we've got a high shear microfluidizer, which is shown here on the left, which has been used a lot, especially in recent months with looking at a range of products, including beverages and materials for the cosmetics industry as well. So that's been interesting. Particle size analyzer, in addition to viscometers. We have beverage analysis. This Anton Par system was, they were great to work with us. We actually tried this before we used it, and we also got the portable one. So we can go out and work with the industry on site at their place. So that's fun too. So lots of work. Stability, again, a big focus for industry. It's absolutely critical. And so we have photostability chamber, which is very new to us, actually. We've only had it about 6 months, but we're in the process of developing SOPs for that. And of course, the biosafety cabinets and some research scale controlled growth environments. And we've had a lot of support from both college and university partners moving in that direction. And this is like a small piece of the applied research and innovation team, but we've got the team as a whole is massive, and it's actually it's not massive, focused and fun and highly capable. So we'd be happy to talk with at greater length at your convenience. Share anything else before we wrap?
No, I think that's great, and we're probably out of time, so we'll carry on.
Okay, thanks everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, thank you so much, Carrie and Cher. That's a great deal of information. I mean, I bet the audience will be like wild, about all these capacities, the fantastic infrastructures we have shared so far. So we will have the last speaker for Dr. Usha Vivekanathan, is the professor at the Chemical and Environmental Technology from Mohawk College. Welcome, Usha.
Thank you so much. Just want to make sure everybody can hear me. Wonderful. Okay, so I'm very, very happy to be here, and thanks to Belling and for Lambton for heading this initiative, and for CBARN, we're eager for collaboration. I am just going to share my presentation. One moment. Okay, where it should be at slide presentation. There we go. Okay, so I, as is meant, I am the project manager and research contact for this initiative at Mohawk. And unlike my colleagues, who I was very impressed with their research presentations, we're a little newer to the applied research in the bio-cleantech field, but we have a huge amount of potential, and we're very excited to partner with various companies to design sort of tailored, I would say, project ideas. So applied research at Mohawk College is run out of IdeaWorks. And we do, in addition to the biotech area, we have a research project in additive manufacturing, in digital health, and a number of other projects. But as I said, we're a little newer to the applied research aspect of biotech. But I would say one big advantage or sort of unique feature about us is that we're in Hamilton. And as many of you may know, Hamilton is a very big and growing biotech sector. In particular, biomanufacturing is becoming a focus in the area. If you know, McMaster Innovation Park has taken over the old Hamilton Spectator building, and various companies like Omnia Bio and other companies are going to set up biomanufacturing capabilities in that building. And so we're hoping to partner with them as we move along as well. Okay, so just to sort of give you an overview of sort of our equipment capabilities and what we might be able to do for any partner interested in a biotech project, I just wanted to give you an overview of sort of what our goals are, and then some of our equipment and our people. So our objective is to support an organization or industry partner's research in its technical development or commercialization goals by providing access to our research faculty, our technicians, and our students, and obviously our equipment. And I will say we are fortunate in that we have great faculty with research backgrounds. So our core biotech program has 3 PhDs who all come from research backgrounds. We also have PhDs in the environmental technology and chemical technology buildings areas, and we have great research technicians. And in terms of students, we have a robust set of programs. We have a suite of biotechnology programs, chemical technology, environmental technology, and also some engineering programs. So we've got a rich source of people. And so our applied researchers are looking to partner with industry to support the creation of new or cleaner products, improved purification methods, streamlined processing, and performance analysis at any stage of development. To just take you through some of the areas that we focus on and that we can partner with companies with. We have a fair amount of expertise and experience in molecular biology and biochemistry. So we are capable of nucleic acid, that is DNA and RNA extraction, and standard DNA analysis. We have PCR machines, and also it's nice we have a qPCR, which is helpful for real-time and quantitative analysis. We're also interested in genome editing a bit, so we're doing some research with CRISPR technology. We're doing some work with CRISPR technology, or just standard introducing plasmids into cells through transformation to change their genetic properties. We also have the capability for protein extraction and analysis through chromatography, Western blotting, immunoassays, enzymatic assays. And one of our group members is quite interested in bioinformatics. So we have tools also to look at large data sets and do some analysis on that front. For example, it might be environmental testing and looking at some metagenomics and what are the suites of particular microbes in a particular area or in a brownfield site, for example. We are also interested in cell and plant culture. So we have two biosafety cabinets and a humidity and temperature controlled CO2 incubator. And some microscopy, so we can look at plant and cell culture. We can do some standard assays, for example, for proliferation rates, some morphology, viability, some functional assays. We've got a little hydroponics unit going if you have any interest in that area. And like the other colleges, we've got a -80 freezer and standard, equipment such as autoclaves for those needs. We are definitely interested in the microbiology space as well. So we have both air shakers and water shakers for microbial cultures. We often do standard microbial assays, be it culture assays or microbial analysis or culture dependent analysis or nucleic acid analysis. We have various bioreactors. So this is just one of our smaller ones. This is a 3-liter bioreactor where obviously you can see we have a controller to control pH, dissolved oxygen, etc. And we can create biomass using these reactors or non-biomass related products. For example, potentially proteins or biofuels as an example. And one of the nice things about Mohawk is that we have a very tight connection between, as I mentioned, our biotech area and our environmental area. And in our environmental area, we have strength in wastewater sampling and analysis. So that can be related to microbiology. We can also look at biological oxygen demands. We can do some assays for various chemical contaminants. So we have the capability for environmental testing as well. We do have some instrumentation and analysis capabilities. So to do some chemical analysis, we have an HPLC, so for chemical analysis of liquids. We do have a GCMS as well for gas analysis. and we have a suite of spectrophotometers, UV vis. We also have flame photometers, so we can do some of that chemical analysis in conjunction with the biological analysis. We also have some bioengineering capabilities. So in the basement or the bottom floor of our technology wing, we have a sort of a little pilot plant where we've got some specialized equipment for bioengineering and faculty that specialize in that area. And in this space, we have larger bioreactors. So we have a 50-liter and a 30-liter reactor. And again, we can look at producing biomass related products or non-biomass related products as it suits a partner. We just recently acquired a large distillation column, which will help with, purification and collection, for example, of bioethanol or other biofuel products potentially. So we're interested in this space in both the upstream processing, looking at different materials, how do we optimize feedstock for different processes, and we're interested in the collection of biomass, non-biomass, the purification, and also, for example, we have a biomembrane filter press and other methods to look at the purification and downstream processing. And then, as I mentioned previously, we can follow up with some analysis. In addition to our equipment, one of our biggest strengths is our great applied research team. And so I have research and expertise in biotechnology and molecular genetics, and I'm particularly interested in those fields, and also, as I said, some potential genome engineering, which is really exciting, and as we all know, is going to be so important for the clean biotech and biotech in the future. Dr. Ethan Paskos has expertise in microbiology and bioinformatics. Dr. Tiffany Layton has expertise in biochemistry and biomedical science. She's also worked on point-of-care devices in the health field. And then this is one of our great faculty from the environmental area, Elisa DeBellis. She has expertise in environmental and water resources. And we've got other partners within our suite of programs, and also on the engineering side, we've got some 3D printing capabilities. So what we're really looking for is to get ourselves well established in the bio-cleantech applied research area. And again, our strengths are our faculty. We have some equipment. With funding, we might be able to get more. And again, being in the Hamilton corridor, I think, is a really exciting space and an exciting time for companies in our geographical area. I am happy to discuss any research ideas and even sort of just brainstorm as it might be useful to partner companies. So my information is here, and I'm sure it will be included elsewhere. And I'll just say thank you to Bowling and the CBARN consortium. We're very excited to be part of it and to partner on some great applied research projects in the bio-cleantech area.
All right, thank you so much, Usha. That's a great presentation. All right, so I think that will wrap up our presentation section and take us over to our Q&A period. All right. So I think I went through the chat. There are some questions asking about if the slides will be shared. So basically, this presentation, this session has been recorded. So what we will do, we will put this recording on our CBARN website. So if you missed something or you joined a little bit later, or you want to go back to have a look at the presentations, feel free to go to our CBARN website to access the recording of this session, because the slides can be really can be really big and it's hard to share through the email. So that's why we decided to record this session and share it on the CBARN website so that you guys have access it even later. I think Michael Jones mentioned that OCI has great programs for leveraging companies' cash funds. Yeah, I strongly agree with that. I think at Lambton, I think Sharon and Carrie also mentioned they use the OCI fundings as well. So I believe Colleen and OSHA probably you may have used the OCI programs as well. So yeah, that's great programs. We have a lot of projects actually supported through those OCI programs, especially VIPs. All right, if you have some other questions you would like to share verbally, and you can raise your hand. So what you can do is on the top of the Microsoft Teams panel, there's a one icon called reactions. When you click on that, there will be an option called raise your hand. So you can click on that, and Martha from our team, they can unmute your microphone so that you can share your questions that way too, if you prefer that. I know it's a lot of information to take in and digest, so we'll give it a few more minutes for you to put your thoughts and write down some of your questions if you have.
Hi, Baoling, it's Michael here. I may have missed this at the beginning, but I was just curious about what is the maximum, like the funding breakdown? I think I missed that at the beginning if you had spoken about it.
So this is a $3 million funding over 2 years. And then in terms of the breakdown, so because we allocated based on the number of the project each college member will take on, so there is a breakdown based on the number of the projects allocated accordingly to each of the member colleges.
And so if companies want to work with a college, is there a maximum amount that they can access? So like, is it like a $50,000 that would go towards the project, or 100,000? Is there any breakdown on that?
Actually, it's more case by case scenario. I think it really depends on the scope of the project. So I think the best way is to get in touch with either with me or some other college reps that you have seen today. If you think it's a better fit for their research capacity to support, feel free to set up a initial call. So they will help you to iron out, the details on the contributions, the skills of the projects.
Perfect. And do the companies themselves need to provide any cash contribution for their project?
So in terms of the contributions, I think it's a mix of cash and in-kind. So it really depends on the type of the project. Let's say if some project use a lot of consumables because there is a kind of limited consumable budget in this program. So definitely there will be a consideration from the cash contribution required from the company.
Perfect. Thanks.
Yeah, welcome.
Michael, share here. Just to jump in addition to what Baoling was saying, is that, yeah, as you probably know, FedDev will match dollar for dollar the contributions that a company provides to a project, and that can be a combination of cash and in kind. So say $10,000 cash, $10,000 in kind, that's $20,000 contribution that would be matched with FedDev, and then you would have a $40,000 project.
That's exactly what I was looking for. So yeah, I was wondering if it was a one-to-one match based on the cash and in-kind from the company. So perfect. Thanks for that.
No problem.
All right, I see a question from Harpreet Kaur. Can I start my own work? How can I apply for these projects from job perspectives? Could you clarify what do you mean by can I start my own work? Do you already have a company, or you work for a company on certain project activities, or are you also like looking for how can I apply for these projects from job perspective? Um, so with this project, let's say we have defined a collaborative project with your company, and then through this project work, you will be able to, let's say, overcome some of the technologies, move your product to the next level, and then that would probably will bring in more opportunity for your company to grow and create some either part-time or full-time jobs. So that's kind of on the full-time on the job perspectives. So okay, I see. Okay, I think Harpreet, your mic is on. So if you want to clarify the further of your questions, that would be great. We couldn't hear you, Harpreet, if you are still there. And all right, if there's some technical challenges, I think you can always reach out to us through the emails after this event. I think the next question is from Sherman. It's from Sherman Long. Can there be multiple colleges involved in the project for a company if different capabilities are needed? So I think yes, what I think what will be the best way is there may be kind of like a college probably will work with you on the bulk of the projects. If there are some minor areas that requires external college members to support, I think there will be arrangement between that main college working with the other few colleges to work on those activities. Yes, there is a way possible to do it. Oh, okay. I saw Harper write his follow-up information here said you're looking for work actually. Oh, okay. So if you are looking for job opportunities, so really depends on your background, your skill sets, and also of course based on the need of the research project that we have developed. If you want to get in touch through the email, we could look into it later. Yeah, I see Carrie mentioned, are you a student or recent grad? If it's, I mean, if there's too much back and forth to communicate, if you can, feel free to shoot out an email with the questions you have. We may be able to guide better. Yes, we do offer opportunities for our students and recent grads, and also we have opportunities for full-time employment for research staff in the team as well. Okay, so you are a recent grad in life science background. As being said, I just explained there are opportunities for recent grad, but it really depends on the need of the research project. See, if we have openings in that area, so that could be a possible way. If you want to get in touch with us after the event, we probably can look into further.
Hey, Baling. More of a comment than a question, but I think what's really appealing, feedback we're getting from industry partners, what's really appealing about this program is by design, the network and FedDev has made it really streamlined, easy to access. The application process is not onerous, and to submit a proposal. And like Balling said, don't self-select, like please just reach out to us and have discussions about it. But, most types of expenses are eligible. There is even room for some stacking with other cash contributions that industry partners have already made towards a project. So to be able to expand an existing project. And so, like I said, just reach out to any one of the colleges and the contacts to discuss further and see how you can get started. And it's a pretty easy process. I think there's even money. I was looking at the budget the other day. There was money for engaging external service providers. So as we've all said here, none of us pretend to be everything to everybody and do it all, and that's why we like to collaborate. But then also we can engage external providers. So say if we didn't have capacity to do something at a larger scale, we could pull in somebody like Green Center and have them do a piece of the project and pay them for their work. So there are some funds available to include in a project plan for that as well.
Yeah, thanks, Chair. Great input. I think Butcher Yan was asking, this question was addressed to Carrie Cramp. Are you able to share the make of your new SFE system? Maybe I'll let you connect with Carrie. Carrie, you're muted.
Oh, sorry. I'm just putting it in the chat right now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
No problem at all. Thank you.
All right. I think we have catch up all the questions from the chat. We still have some time left, so if you have more questions, we will just wait a little bit to get it coming. Yeah, all right. I don't see any new questions coming in. So yeah, I just put in my email in the chat too. So if you have more questions, want to follow up later, feel free to do so. Yeah, I think in the presentation files there, all the speakers, the contact information, even their colleagues are shared in the presentations too. So we will get the recording ready and post it on the CBARN website. So you will be able to access that information later on if you want to review it again. All right, thank you so much to everyone that's attending this event, and big thank you to all the speakers today. Get out of your busy day, spend some time here to join this event, share the research capacities with the audience. So thank you everyone again, and if you have more questions, feel free to reach out to us anytime there's a question you have. All right. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of the day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.